Social Security turns 91. That's a whole lot of years of benefits being paid out, but how long will it last? Today, we are joined by Bill Sweeney, the AARP Director of Government Affairs. So, when we talk about 90 years, that's a really long stretch of paying out those benefits. Everybody says, I really want it to be there when I'm ready.
That's right. Look, 91 years, it's never missed a payment. It's never been late, never been too slow. It's an amazing thing that Social Security has really transformed the experience of getting older in this country. It's transformed retirement in this country. It's transformed almost everything about about the way our economy works. I mean, we know that Social Security actually injects about $2.6 trillion every year into America's economy. It is the foundation of our retirement security, but it's also really a foundation for a lot of rural communities and small towns across the country that depend on the money that Social Security puts into the economy every year. So it's a really amazing thing. It has transformed our country. We are much better off for it these last 91 years.
All right. And with that said, we want to keep it going. And it seems like every couple of years we hear about how Social Security is in trouble. This year we heard how it's going to be, become insolvent a year earlier than what we thought. So what happens if Congress does nothing?
Well, right now, Social Security, for years, Social Security had been bringing in more money than it needed to pay out in terms of benefits because there were so many baby boomers in the workforce. Today, as those folks are retiring, it is now having to draw down that sort of piggy bank that it has built up over all those years. That's the trust fund that we talk about. And when we say the trust fund is running out of money in 2032, which is what the trustees said earlier this year, it doesn't mean that Social Security doesn't have any money. It means that extra money that it has been drawing down will be gone, but it still has about 80% of the money it needs to continue paying benefits basically for forever, for a long time. Social Security is never going to go bankrupt because of the way it's built. But it does mean that Congress needs to fix this about 20% gap. And 20% it's a big deal. It's a big number. Social Security is a big program, but it is actually, if you look at what the kind of bills that Congress has done over the last few years to deal with the COVID pandemic, to do tax relief, to do some other things, this size of this bill is actually completely doable. And so we believe that Congress can act. They will act. I think politically, 2032 is an election year. I don't think anybody in Congress is going to want to go home to their constituents and say, oops, I couldn't be bothered to fix Social Security, so we're going to cut people's benefits. But under the law is written in a way that Social Security can never run a deficit. So if Congress doesn't fix it, Social Security would have to cut back on payments. But again, I don't believe that will happen because I know the voters in this country will tell Congress, you need to get this fixed.
Well, there's all kinds of plans, right, that are floating around and that kind of stuff. From what I'm hearing, AARP is opposed to fast tracking a plan. What does that mean? Can you explain?
Yeah, the Social Security is such a big thing. I mean, this is a really important program. I just, as I mentioned, this is, a huge thing that's been around for 91 years. They've had to do that. Congress has had to do this before. The last big reform that they had to do was in 1983, where they were looking at a very similar situation to the one we're looking at right now. So this is something they can absolutely do if they want to. But it is so big and it's so important to so many people. 71 million Americans are earning the Social Security benefit or getting Social Security benefits that they've earned. Another 185 million of us are paying into Social Security as we work. To try to do that in a week's time, to create some special fast track process where Congress says by the end of this week we're going to solve Social Security, I think is kind of silly. I mean, this is a really big and important debate that we need to have as a country, and we should do so smartly and thoughtfully, and not try to rush it or try to strangle the conversation. We should allow people to have creative ideas and to bring new ideas into the debate and think about them thoughtfully.
So, not just a quick fix, but the right fix. What do you want people at home to do?
Well, I think the most important thing we need to do, all of us as voters in this country, is ask our elected officials what their plans are. This year there's Senate races all over the country this year. Those folks serve for 6 years, and the people who are elected to the Senate in this Senate race in November are going to be in office in 2032, making the decision about what to do with the future of Social Security. The next presidential election is going to decide which president is sitting in the Oval Office for this debate on Social Security. And every congressional race between now and 2032 is going to do the same. So I think that it's a really important time to ask our elected officials what their plans are and make sure that they know how important Social Security is to us, and how important it is to our families. I think that's the most important thing people can do.
Yeah, and be informed. And this is one of the ways to be informed. So we thank you for your time and your expertise as Social Security turns 91. What questions do you have about Social Security and you need them answered? Well, AARP volunteers are manning the phones right now so you can get those questions and get the resources so you know, hey, when does my benefit start and how much am I going to be looking at? They'll be answering calls till 6:30. The number is on your screen, 336-379-5600.